Holy shit, guys, it's me, Turok, and I just seen or read the chapter 1042 of One Piece. Now official. I don't have a Viz account anymore. I'll see if, but I kind of skimmed through these as far as like reading, and I just follow the action. I'm not good at dialogue, so I'll be reading it later. But damn, this is the part of the Wano arc I've been most anticipating, beginning in earnest, I guess now, Kaido and Luffy. And this is really important to me and I'm sure all of us, for many reasons. And for me, the biggest thing is, ever since Kaido's introduction at the end of the Dressrosa arc, and how formidable he seemed, as well as Big Mom, I've just been trying to rack my brain about how Luffy is going to be able to handle Kaido. Oda has done such a good job to me in giving Kaido this air of invincibility. Like, the way he seemed to me up until recently has reminded me of One Punch Man, of Saitama, and how how we know he is, though. In this case, we know Saitama up throughout the story is like virtually invincible. Nothing he's taken on has really given him a true challenge. I think Boros, was that his name, was the closest thing he's had. And I know that arc in the manga, Garu and him are probably gonna go head to head. Hopefully with the release of that by the end of this year or sooner, we'll finally see that in the manga. It's getting close. I guess I should have said a spoiler to that if you're not reading that. But back to Kaido. Since Kaido's introduction and everything with him and Big Mom, I could not see a path forward for Luffy to combat Kaido and win at this stage in his life. You see, also, the way Oda has built up other characters, like Kaido and Whitebeard or Roger and Big Mom, is like this has to go with characters' ages in the story too, where they live a lot longer than they would here in the real world. Kaido and Big Mom is pretty much ready to go on Social Security at this point, right? She's about 65, or is she over now? And Kaido's not far behind, but yet there's still these literal beasts, unstoppable beings, and they hold power over the new world that's almost unmatched except for their other peers. Yet look how old they are, and so that shows to me that I'm trying to think what else had led up to this, but that they with Rox, back when they were part of Rox's crew, I don't think we have an age yet on Rox. It just seemed like the time period of the years ago, the Big Mom and Kaido and that were all like still. They were probably in their later 20s by that when Rox was there, and when Rox was their captain, and they couldn't overtake him themselves. I would say I have a feeling there could have been some kind of coup attempt, perhaps, if they really hated him as much as we've been led to understand. So, with One Piece characters, it feels like most of the time it's different from something like Dragon Ball Z, where they can grow instantly through the was it Zenkai? The ability where the Saiyans can grow fast, and just like someone like Goten and Trunks can be nearly as powerful if they trained enough to their own father's level. And this, what I'm leading back to, is that Kaido and Big Mom or Whitebeard, it would seem to me it took decades to really achieve their prime, to reach their peak power that they still have to some extent. Where Whitebeard, when he got sick, the sickness always seems to downplay that in real life and in One Piece. But so Big Mom, Kaido, Whitebeard, maybe Roger, it seems to me they would have taken years to grow as into their power and be the pinnacle of the pirate food chain and the food chain of the world with like the admirals and such that they are. Yet Luffy, who's now I think 19, maybe going on 20, he's going head to head with Kaido, who's got 4 decades of more experience over him, who was about a little bit older than Luffy or same age as Luffy in that area when he was part of Rox's crew and was not going up against Rox and winning or such. Luffy's going up against Kaido and at least giving him a challenge. And so can Luffy win as he is? I am not convinced myself, basically. In my mind, Luffy would need literal 10 more years of training, or at least 8 plus more years, say taking into account his last 2 years of training with Rayleigh and the rest he did by himself. Take those last 2 years, maybe add 8 more years of practicing with this fruit, just doing all kinds of calisthenics and weight training and combat training. In my mind, it would take all of that, even without and all of that, to be able to defeat Kaido with truly not with ease, but to stand up to Kaido properly, to be on his power level. And yet Oda has found a way to show this with, I guess, Gear 4th, and now with the where Luffy learned how to unlock his. Oh, come on, Patchy! Oh, my cat. So to unlock his, Luffy has learned how to use the enhanced, the second grade or whatever it's called Haki. So I'm no teching 101 teching, so I'm not gonna have all these terms in my head as well. I read the stuff, but I don't absorb it well. So I watch his reviews to try and make sense some of the plot. I actually have to go back and watch some of his the first act of Wano again to make sense of a lot of the stuff that was going on in the Flower Capital. So back on this topic, Luffy has progressed much further than I would have thought really possible. Needed to stand up to Kaido, not defeat. I don't know what's going to happen, how he will defeat Kaido, but I have a guess now based on Big Mom's and fight with Kid and Law that what's going to happen. But with Devil Fruit Awakening, I'm assuming Luffy's going to probably have something like that. It's going to need to be, I think, if he's going to defeat Kaido on his own. Otherwise, it would have to go back to him getting aid from as when Law, Kid, Zoro, and Killer all together with Luffy, they all went up against Big Mom and Kaido. I could foresee the 5 of them against Kaido themselves, even without Devil Fruit Awakenings, perhaps beating him up enough, giving him a lot of damage, but really, maybe they need all need a Fruit Awakenings at that point. I wasn't thinking about Devil Fruit Awakenings at that point, even though we knew about it. I still couldn't see what was going on. I'm just was along for the ride with that fight, and I am now still too. But I am very impressed by how Luffy is doing here against Kaido. And now I'm going to go into a little more spoilers here. So spoiler warning to anyone who has not read this yet. Oh, one moment. Got my cat with me. See if he wants a review with me. No? You want to go? Sure. My kitty cat wants to go outside, but try to do the review, buddy. So, spoiler warning again. At the end here, the CP0 agent that was ordered to kill Luffy has jumped in to interfere in the fight. And I'm thinking, based on my reading and interpretation of this, that Kaido himself is probably not going to be happy that agent has involved himself. Because for all the wrongdoings and faults Kaido has, he looks like someone who would like to have a fair fight to some extent, one-on-one with someone like Luffy, as he wanted to do with Whitebeard too. He wanted to go up against Whitebeard before he died, have one last shot at him, and probably wouldn't like anyone to interfere in that, I assume. And frankly, the only reason I think he didn't is that Shanks either made a deal with him or just bribed him with a shitload of sake. So, back to here. The CP0 agent has interfered. I was kind of hoping he wouldn't, but I mean, that raises the stakes now. Oda's really like doing his storytelling at his finest and having us wait on bated breath to see what's going to happen. Also, more spoilers. I was really impressed at what other stuff Kaido did in this match. He had some trick he did here with his full beast form, his dragon form. I'll probably say beast form sometimes, meaning he's not hybrid. He did some kind of technique where he was zooming around the field of their fight, and in order to, he's both mimicking and trying to outwit or outspeed Luffy in order to dodge up his attacks, as it seems now that Luffy's got a good handle on his on using the second grade haki. He is harming Kaido with every punch. So Kaido's got to take some evasive action here to avoid getting knocked out. I should raise this a bit. Can I raise this? You know what? I should get my other chair. I think man, this camera. Sorry, I'm just doing a raw reaction video. This isn't going to be edited more than likely. And I should try to make sure I control my speech well so that you guys can understand me. I tend to slur. So, Kaido is taking evasive action earlier in the fight. Let me go back and just see if there's anything else I wanted to say about this. Oh yeah, we had spoilers again. Drake is trying to stop that CP0 agent. It looks like he failed. Hope Drake's alright. He's probably one of my favorite characters of the rookies that showed up from the Sabaody. And I know he's not really a pirate now. I forgot what's going on with him. But he's trying to help. He probably has no love for CP0 or government agents, I think. And, oh yeah, it's really great. I'm liking this fight here with Luffy's using his Gear 4th, and he's got a time limit. This makes me go back to, back in Dragon Ball Z where Gotenks, where the fusion dance existed and Gotenks was using it, Goten Trunks, and I was always frustrated that they were playing around a bit too much with Majin Buu. That because, the kids and Trunks' personality seems to be the stronger of the two, this made Gotenks not take the fight as seriously. He looked he was trying to be more theatrical perhaps than really trying to finish the job. So, and then he ran out of time when he finally got serious toward the end of the fight with Majin Buu in the outside world, on Earth, not in the time chamber. He got serious at the end of his fight with Buu there, and ran out of time when he started to charge up his final attack. I'm really enjoying that Luffy here is not messing around. He wants to finish Kaido. He understands full of the stakes. He's got this country that's been suffering under Kaido for decades now. And contrasting this with Gotenks, I mean, everyone there, the world was pretty much empty of people, but Gotenks still was kind of kidding around. And did he realize? He should have realized. He went into they went in the time chamber. Boo. Oh, forget it. I can't remember. I just know that Gotenks just, was a kid. He's a kid. Luffy's still kind of a kid, but he's legally an adult now by most, standards of the world. And he been living in this Wano long enough and saw all the pain Kaido has caused. And he's not messing around, basically, with his Gear 4th techniques. He's trying to hold on in this chapter, it seems he's done it multiple times since this second fight with Kaido, and he's knowing he can't mess around anymore. Otherwise, he's gonna be passed out, and no one else will be there to fight Kaido and finish the job. So, Luffy, you're a goofy bastard who doesn't really pay attention to the world event, and you're not much of a captain except in the inspirational sense. But damn, when you're in the fight, whenever Luffy's in a fight and he's in the heat of the moment, that's when I'm really on board with him 150%. When he's like this, that's my Luffy. This is my favorite form of Luffy, to be serious and not mess around in a fight. To go to the end and see it through and all that. And, wow, again, the art, I know a lot of other people always point this out, but I love Oda's action scenes and artwork, and I like to try and draw sometimes, so I really should try and watch some of what he does here. And I would love to see this whole chapter and others in full color, because it's just like sometimes I'm not even sure what's going on because of the black and white. I gotta try to squint, reread it a few times, really understand. And yeah, you don't know either? Come on. Come here. Come on. So he's got his Kongon. And I'm going to have to go back because I don't really understand what the CP0 guy did. Oh, I'll wait for Tekking's review maybe to help me understand this. I forget some of the stuff that the CP0 can do. I know they had like those six techniques. They had the stuff. I can't remember exactly. But I gotta look back what he did there to stop Luffy from completing his attack that was happening at the end of the fight. And yeah, I just am very impressed with what Oda's doing. Luffy has surpassed my expectations in his combat stats, I guess, his whole stats, as being able to hold himself up to a Yonko, because like he tried to go up against Big Mom not too long ago. Well, it's been a while in chapters. It's been like 100 about 200 chapters ago, or roughly there. He tried to punch Big Mom once. She blocked his attack and it just did nothing. And yet now he's able to go up against Kaido, who's arguably a little more potent than Big Mom in that fight, in that sense. And I would have liked to seen him go up against Big Mom again and combat her too, since he's probably not afraid of her, much like Kid and Law aren't, and so her soul abilities wouldn't do anything to him, so she'd have to rely on her powers. Although I think her homies would give Luffy a bit of trouble, especially he'd have to be careful with her sword, because he's rubber, but he does have armor and haki. So that's about it. This chapter is great. It's just long enough. I don't know. I sometimes hear that Oda has breaks. The chapters don't come out every week. I have no idea if that's happening again. I really hope not, so that this can I can get like one more chapter and see what happens here. And thanks for listening.